Hi there. Susan and I went to, it's pretty loud. Susan and I went to Ecuador in August, just a month ago. And we're a hardcore bird watching trip. And so you can go ahead, Chuck. We did a bunch of other stuff too. Ecuador is on the top left part of South America. The blue line's the equator. And it goes right through it. It's about the size of Colorado. And we went in August. And we thought it would be hot, but it wasn't hot. It was cold. We were surprised. It's this big mountain range, the Andes, that goes right through the middle of the country. It's kind of like Colorado. It's about the size of Colorado. This chart shows different habitats at different altitudes. And they have 32 volcanoes. It's pretty cool. We went with, there were 5 birders and a birding guide, and we went for 14 days, and 9 of it was bird watching. And we flew from here to Dallas to Quito. We birded all kinds of habitats from 1,000 feet to 14,000 feet. And it's mostly cooler than it is in Montrose, which really kind of surprised us. You're in the forest mostly, and it's more cloudy than it is here. And Quito is an ancient city. It's older than any of the cities in the U.S. It was founded in 1534 by the Spanish. There's several big volcanoes in sight of Quito and a bunch of cool old buildings from the 1500s. We went in this church, which is the fanciest church I've ever been in, and did some shopping. There's Susan in a spice shop and a museum of ancient artwork from pre-Columbian Native Americans. Well, the equator goes right through it. There's a town that's sort of a tourist trap about the equator with several equator museums. The yellow line is pictures is the equator, and people do all kinds of goofy stuff on the equator to say they've been there. We went shopping at a Native American village where they sell everything like woolens made from alpacas and fruits and vegetables and hats and scarves and everything. It's pretty cool.
Did they see any birds?
We went bird watching. We stayed in several lodges out in the, you'd call it jungle, it's thick forest. They're very nice buildings and good food and things like potato soup with avocados and popcorn. It was cool. There's more birds in Ecuador by twice than the whole U.S. and Canada. And there's 1,600 kinds, and we saw 300 kinds in this kind of small area we went to. Saw 73 kinds of tanagers and 44 kinds of hummingbirds. They have all kinds of bird feeders. There's some like our hummingbird feeders, and some with just bananas strapped up into the trees, and some with corn cobs, and all different kinds of vegetarian birds are eating those. Some funny shaped bird feeders. There's 4 kinds of toucans that we saw. It's very colorful and pretty cool. They're all fruit eaters, and that's why they're on the Fruit Loops cereal box. We saw 44 kinds of hummingbirds, and some have very long tails. They all had very long names. So we saw 4 kinds with really long tails. Some kinds have really long bills. The sword bill in the lower right, the bill is longer than the bird is. Anyway, they're all different cool kinds, and some that were very bright colors. They seemed like every name had about 12 syllables, so it was impossible to keep track of it. Everywhere we went had a different suite of different hummingbirds at different altitudes. There were some pretty funny kinds of names, puff legs and coronets. Well, they have 100 kinds of tanagers in this part of the country, and we saw 70 kinds, every conceivable range of colors and odd names we don't use for birds. It's all different colors, bright gold and bright green and bright blue and combinations like you spill into your paint set. We saw an Indian condor too, like Dennis said, and largest flying bird, it's the national bird of Ecuador, and it's the largest bird in the world, and it's in their mythology and their folklore. We saw Andean bear, a spectacled bear. It's the only bear in South America, and this one is in the national park and radio collar with 2 cubs, which is pretty cool. And we saw a sloth, and we saw some white-tailed deer, which, like, who knew white-tailed deer go all the way down there? That's the end. We had a great time.
I have actually been to Ecuador, and here's my 2 memories.